Great job, Andy and Carol. First porters back to the house since 1866. Great job.
Yes, very interesting.
Let's give them another hand. Pam, would you record this for a second? It's recording right now.
Okay.
Andy, I've got a surprise for you if you want to come up here. Tori, could you flip the lights back on, please?
I'm not a very good recorder.
You're doing great, man.
Woo!
You get another prize here.
This is going to become habitual. I'll be here every year.
Well, I think I'll let you open it first and then I'll explain it.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
This is a handmade brick made by your great-great-grandpa Levi Porter.
At Olive Hill?
Here at Olive Hill.
We had one from Olive Hill.
Well, it's not from the Olive Hill Brickyard.
Oh,
Let me explain a second.
Okay.
This came from over Scott and John Paul. Where's John Paul? They had to leave. Scott and John Paul went over here to Lawton, right next door to the Rayburn store in Lawton. There was a house that they just tore down recently, and Levi Porter had built the brick chimney for that house. So that brick came from there. And for the way I understand it, Levi would go to the job site and he had some type of form, and he would dig up the clay right there at the job site and put the clay in the forms. He would build a fire the brick, and then he would use those bricks to build the chimney. And so that was one of the chimneys he built at that house right next to the Rayburn store.
Oh my God.
Isn't that nice?
So that's where that came from. You're welcome.
Here, Jeannie. Here, you do it. I can't.
Another interesting fact about the brick, the house right there in Grayson County, Virginia, when Levi is the oldest son of Andrew Porter. He fought in the Civil War. He was 16 years old in the Civil War. That's Andy's great-great-grandpa. But something we found, I think when Levi was about 13 years old, the neighbor's house burned down, Samuel Fulton's house, and they rebuilt it, and it was a brick house. So I've got a hunch that maybe 13-year-old Levi learned how to become a brick mason there at his neighbor's house. I'm not sure about that, but I suspect that's what happened. We're going to take a break, and then we've got some books up here. Make sure each family gets one of these books. It's Cecil Porter's autobiography. His brothers Sam and Carl are here, and his sister, and he wrote about growing up here on Porter Creek, over there on Porter Creek, not here on Porter Creek. And he wrote a lot of stories about growing up. The whole autobiography is about his childhood, which is really interesting. He names names. You better see if your name's in there if you're from around here. It's full of stories, and as you're looking through it, I want you to be thinking of your own stories, because I know there's a lot of them. So we want to hear some stories. We'll pass this microphone around after a while and hear some stories. And then, before we get into that, we have a 2-minute. Is Helen still here? Okay, good. Helen's dad, Harlan Porter, we've got a 2-minute video clip of him talking about his grandpa, Andrew Porter. So we'll take a break, and then we'll get into that. We'll do a few more prizes. We'll get into that, and then we'll get into the book. But while we're doing the break, if you guys want to go ahead and pick up some books now or later, that'd be fine.